No Premier League this weekend. Rest in peace to the Queen. So we have an opportunity to cover a few other leagues. So let's get right into it, shall we? Over in Italy, Inter had quite the frustrating match up against Torino, who have looked quite decent thus far under Matteo Parro. They have surprised me, as I thought they would have had yet another slow start to the season, but they have been flying so far. So good, in fact, that in the first half, with Inter looking very, very slow, without ideas, without any kind of spark, Torino managed to hold Inter back to not a single attempt on target. The first time they have failed to register a single attempt on target in the first half under Inzaghi. I mean, they were pretty listless, and while they did improve greatly in the second half, it came at the price of allowing further attempts on their own goal, right? Nikola Vlasic was fantastic for Torino, causing plenty of issues at the back for Inter, but the goal eventually came. A stunning ball in from Barella and a deft touch from Brozovic, another big goal from him, 1-0 Inter. Luciano Spalletti got himself sent to the stands in Napoli's match against Spezia, in which, once again, Vara was the player to watch on the pitch. So joyous with the ball at his feet. My friend Dom from Napoli Talk spoke about how he has a similar joy to his game as Ronaldinho, and that he's just so fun to watch, and I gotta agree, gets you out of your seat, and while he has to develop his decision making to be a little more deadly, he's still plenty dangerous enough down Napoli's left. They were dominant against Spezia, but they had to work for it, and Rachmani had to save his side with a goal line clearance as well. But in the 89th minute, new arrival Giacomo Raspadori opened his Napoli account with a goal. Great ball through the box from substitute Gaetano, and the young Italian Raspadori tucked it away. Napoli's great season continues with a greatly rotated squad. AC Milan struggled at times against Sampdoria. I gotta give a lot of credit to Sampdoria in this match, as they didn't really resemble a side that is winless at the moment. They pushed Milan all the way thanks in part to Rafael Leão getting himself a second yellow for an attempted bicycle kick that saw him, kick a dude in the head. Deserved second yellow, even if his first yellow was kind of shit in my opinion. But yeah, Sampdoria found an equalizer via Juricic just 10 minutes after the card, only for Giroud to help win a penalty. Gonzalo Villar, what the hell, man? That hand had no business being that high. Deserved penalty and expertly dispatched by Giroud to put Milan one goal up despite being one man down. Sampdoria pushed and came so close. A triplet of chances in the 87th minute saw them nearly equalize, one coming off the post, while two other attempts were saved by Mike Maignan. Atalanta had the chance to continue on at the top of the table this weekend, but they were held at home against Cremonese, of all teams. Tun Koopmeiners, who has been having his way with Serie A thus far in his sophomore season, had a goal called back in the second half once Atalanta really started to take control of this match. And while he didn't manage to get yet another goal for himself, he was able to set one up for Demiral from a free kick. Atalanta will have felt like it was job done at that point, but just 4 minutes later, Emanuele Valeri equalized for the newly promoted side, 1-1 the final. Lazio played a relatively boring affair with Hellas Verona. I don't know what it is, man. I like I said on Twitter, maybe I'm the curse, but every time I watch Lazio, I just find their play so boring. It's basically just saved from Milinkovic, Savic, and Immobile cooking something up together. With a special mention to Luis Alberto, who sometimes looks like a world beater and other times looks like Casper the Ghost. But anyway, SMS and Immobile, of course, linked up for Lazio's goal. Decent ball to the back post for an unmarked Immobile. Decent win for Lazio, made even sweeter by Luis Alberto, not looking like a ghost late on, and finishing well for 2-0 Lazio. All right, editor Adrian has the rest covered for you guys from Italy.
My friend, last weekend we got a big reminder that VAR is not used correctly in England. Well, this weekend we got informed that Serie A can hang as far as not using VAR correctly. And we got that reminder in Juve's draw against Salernitana. Look, I'm not making excuses for Juve because they should never be in this position in the first place. Their performance was terrible, and this controversy kind of gives them a get-out-of-jail-free card, in a sense. Or at least it shifts the talk towards VAR rather than their performance. But here we go. I guess VAR didn't look at this angle, which clearly shows that Bonucci was played onside and that the goal should have stood. Milik was sent off for nothing for removing his shirt. So yeah, Juve were screwed here, guys. As we look at the scores and standings, Napoli, Atalanta, and Milan sit at 14 points at the top. Udinese are right in the mix, along with Inter, etc.
Man, the Bundesliga is fun as hell to take in this season. Though part of what makes it fun also makes room for it to not be fun again. Let me explain instead of a cryptic sentence. Bayern were held at 2-2 against Stuttgart following a penalty being given away by None other than De Ligt, where we also saw the young Tell become Bayern's youngest ever Bundesliga scorer at 17 years and 136 days. And yes, Musiala scored as well, so they're stacked for the future. They also boast De Ligt, who is no old man either, but he is the master of handing penalties to the opposite team. If Bayern supporters weren't aware already, they'll find out soon. This will be the first of many, though they are often from handball situations, at least they were for Juve, whereas this was just a poorly timed tackle. And so with Stuttgart getting that 92nd minute equalizer to hold Bayern at the Allianz Arena, stage turned to Borussia Dortmund going away to RB Leipzig, where their former manager Marco Rose calls home. No, seriously. Not only is he the new manager of the football club, but he is actually from Leipzig. And seemingly with so little time to prepare, his impact has been felt already. Perhaps there is some room to say that Borussia Dortmund were poor once again looking like they don't have an identity under Terzic. They seem to be flipping back and forth between looking decent and looking quite lost under him thus far. RB Leipzig absolutely cooked them. Revenge for Marco Rose here, 3-0. Willi Orban with basically a free header after 6 minutes, low in the corner past Meyer. And then right before the half, all of us bowed our heads in respect to Dominik Szoboszlai. What a strike. So much power from 25 yards out, arrowed into the top corner. I mean, nobody is saving that strike. Oh my God. Add salt in the wounds. In the last minutes of the game, passing through Dortmund's backline with ease and then squared to Haidara for the tap-in. 3-0, poor from Dortmund to fail to take advantage of Bayern's slip. Niko Kovac was also haunting his former club this weekend. Man, it was revenge of the X's, eh? Kovac took his Wolfsburg side away to Eintracht Frankfurt, fresh off of their big 3-0 loss midweek in the Champions League, and Wolfsburg handed them another L. A 1-0 win for Wolfsburg, Maxence Lecroix rising high to nod it past Kevin Trapp, 2 consecutive losses across all competitions, 4 goals conceded and none scored, at home, at the Waldstadion of all places. Further frustrations for Bayer Leverkusen, they failed to get all 3 points once again as they were held 2-2 by Hertha. One thing you can say is that they are at least scoring goals now. Unlucky against Brugge in the UCL, of course, but they are absolutely leaking goals. Suat Serdar equalized for Hertha as he went completely unnoticed at the back. Ball rolled in for an easy finish and hit an absolute screamer from outside the box. The volley was a tasty one, man. Richter. Check it out if you haven't seen it, and you'll be glad you did. But yeah, an equalizer from Leverkusen. Perhaps signs they are improving, but a long way off of the form that we all probably expected them for this season. Schalke got what was an important 3 points over Bochum, a team that is yet to taste a single point after 6 attempts at trying. Important for Schalke, of course, because they are expected to be in the relegation conversation, so taking points from those who are also meant to be in that conversation is absolutely vital for them. Augsburg did exactly that as well, beating Werder 1-0 on Friday. And we also had Hoffenheim, who have started the season so well, get a 4-1 victory over Mainz, taking full advantage of the Alexander Hack red card. What a hack. Know who else were hacks this weekend? Well, that's taking it too far. But Gladbach away to Freiburg had all the makings of a great game. But in the end, all we had were 2 completely fatigued boxers trying to throw limp punches at each other. 0-0 in that one. Well, we can all stand and praise Geraldo Becker, give him a clap, and Union Berlin for their 1-0 victory away to Köln. He played a big role in the own goal that gave Union the win over Köln. Pefok also had a penalty saved. Becker had a goal called off. It was eventful for Union, and as we can see here, they are at the top of the table as one of just 2 teams that haven't tasted defeat yet in the Bundesliga. With Freiburg just drawing, Union have a 1-point lead at the top. Leipzig just hanging on to 10th with that big win over Dortmund. Expect them to surge up the standings here. Spooky scenes in Barcelona's matchup against Cadiz. A supporter in the stand had some health issues and therefore the match was halted with just a few minutes remaining. Thank goodness the supporter got the medical attention they needed and were resuscitated and taken to hospital for treatment. Great work from Cadiz keeper Ledesma to run the defibrillator over. No doubt played a big role in their survival, and we wish them well. As for the match itself, Barcelona were dominant, 2-0 up prior to the medical incident. They just looked so good, with Robert Lewandowski seemingly loving his new role at Barcelona, in which he has been able to show off much more than just his finishing ability. He did score, of course, even if he was just a 57th minute sub for Memphis Depay. Depay actually looked pretty good out there, man. Maybe would have been nice to see him get the full 90 minutes and a full rest to Lewandowski. But hey, I mean, with Lewandowski scoring and then setting up 3rd and 4th for Barcelona to make it 4-0 after that medical break, it will have been forgotten pretty quickly. Depay not playing the full match, that is what I'm saying. People in Sevilla likely would have forgotten about Lopetegui very quickly if Espanyol's remontada had been completed. Sevilla were a tale of two halves. Genuinely brilliant at times in the first half, going 3-0 ahead with goals from Lamela and a brace from Carmona, but the Joselu penalty to close out the first half was a dark mark, or a harbinger of doom. With Braithwaite scoring his second goal in as many matches for Espanyol, his side were dominant in the second half, but were unable to find a way through, even with Lamela getting his marching orders late. Good effort, which could have been the end for Lopetegui if Espanyol found an equalizer there. Valencia were again unable to string 2 wins together as they fell 2-1 away to Rayo Vallecano, while Girona got their second victory of the season alongside Rayo Vallecano as Girona beat Valladolid 2-1 at home as well. Real Madrid looked pretty lethal against Mallorca in a 4-1 victory, which is to be expected, right? Vinicius showed once again that he is one of the top wingers in the world right now, top 3 for sure. But his side had to technically come from behind. After Mariki put Mallorca ahead, a Fede Valverde wonder goal from his own half brought them level. What a run, what a smash on his left boot into that top corner. Stunning stuff, very kind to attribute Carvajal with an assist for that one. In the second half, Real Madrid were dominant with Rodrigo setting up Vinicius, then Rodrigo getting one himself, and Antonio Rudiger with his first for Real Madrid in La Liga. Solid performance in a match where Ancelotti was able to rotate the squad fairly well. Atletico Madrid got a comprehensive victory over Celta Vigo as they too won 4-1, just like Real did. Rodrigo de Paul put in a great shift, he got a goal and an assist, and when he is on song, he's brilliant to watch. He set up Angel Correa, while Yannick Carrasco scored a wonder goal as well. I mean, if it wasn't for Valverde's goal on Sunday, Carrasco's would have been the goal of the weekend in La Liga for sure. Similar in the lengthy run, I guess, but anyway, a good performance from Atleti against a difficult proposition. It was a 4-1 kind of weekend, eh? Athletic Club also won 4-1 away to Elche as they scored 4 goals in the first half to bury Elche. I had Elche going down this season, did you? Anyway, we'll pass it off to editor Adrian for the final 2 matches on Sunday. A decent one in Villarreal versus Betis, by the way.
So yeah, in Spain, while Real Sociedad was able to bring 1 goal back against Getafe, they still ultimately fell, which is a very disappointing result for them, especially since Getafe is in the relegation zone as things stand. And then in the other match from yesterday evening, Real Betis hosted Unai Emery's Villarreal, and they handed them their first defeat. That win for Betis helped them jump up and over Villarreal, as you can see. 3 points back of league leaders Real Madrid, who are still perfect as of now at the top.
A little Portugal? Let's take the opportunity to visit Portugal and France in the Premier League's absence, shall we? Benfica got a 1-0 win away to Famalicão. I missed the first half, though I hear it was the same as usual. Benfica with much of the ball, but really shy in front of goal. Benfica without Gonçalo Ramos lacks some teeth in the attack. Hoping Musa can build on this performance, which wasn't bad from him, and start scoring some goals for Benfica, because we desperately need some presence in front of goal when Ramos isn't there. Grimaldo and Rafa linking once again, by the way, liking how they have started this season, just as I love what I'm seeing from Antonio Silva at 18 years of age, looking like a seasoned veteran alongside Otamendi, and we saw Draxler get his first start. Sporting went from strength to strength as they are gathering momentum, none more so than Francisco Trincão in the attack for Sporting. The man got a damn hat-trick this weekend against Portimonense in Sporting's 4-0 victory there. Pedro Gonçalves with the other for Sporting. And we also had FC Porto destroying Chaves, the key boys. And Mehdi Taremi made up for his stupid diving against Atletico by scoring just 3 minutes into this one, and later setting up Porto's second in a 3-0 win. So Benfica, Sporting, and Porto all got victories. What about Braga, who have looked solid this season? Editor Adrian?
Braga went away to Rio Ave, a very difficult side, and they made it look easy at first with a 3-0 lead as of the 69th minute, only for things to get scary for them as Rio Ave scored 2 goals in the final 10 minutes of the match to make it quite the thrill. But with that win, Braga move up to second behind Benfica, who are yet to drop points, while Porto and Portimonense are rounding out the top 4.
Thank you, editor Adrian. And in France, PSG struggled in the attack against Stade Brestois, perhaps a bit unexpected as this one is of the teams you expect PSG to steamroll, but they were a bit wasteful in the attack and relied upon Gigio Donnarumma to save a penalty in order to preserve the full 3 points. But what I will say, that Messi and Neymar link for PSG's goal was a wow moment. What a ball from Messi, and the touch and finish from Neymar. I mean, he was just so casual about it. It was cold from him. RC Lens continue to apply pressure as they got a 1-0 win at home against Troyes. Lens, that was their 5th victory as they are still undefeated in the league with 5 wins and 2 draws. Another undefeated team, Marseille versus Lille, was a massive match this weekend. One of 2 big matches, actually. Editor Adrian will cover the other one, but we had Tudor's Marseille, who have looked great, versus Fonseca's Lille, who have looked pretty decent this season as well. Speaking of which, Jonathan David looked strong in the build-up for Lille's goal in the 12th minute, but it was Marseille who had the last laugh in this one. Great counter from Marseille that saw Harit advance the ball well in possession, play it wide to Cengiz Under, whose first time squared ball was finished off by Alexis Sanchez, 1-1. And in the second half, a free kick was nodded on by Kolasinac and tucked away by Gigot. The ex-Arsenal boys in this Marseille side are putting in work. 2-1 Marseille, Tudor is truth. All right, Monaco versus Lyon, and then a surprise fixture as well. Let's hear it from editor Adrian.
And in France, as far as AS Monaco versus Lyon goes, the hosts were pushed ahead by Caio Henrique as he set up both of his side's goals in their 2-1 win, meaning they make a big jump up the standings to start harassing the top 4. Soon they will, at least, but there's still a decent gap, isn't there? Long may this title race continue. We need Marseille, Lens, etc. to continue putting pressure on PSG. Hey, what's Lorient doing up there, man? They think they can hang? Okay, I back it.
All right, fellas. More Champions League this week, so we'll try to get some watch-alongs in if we can. Other than that, I'll have other videos for you as well to enjoy. My name's Adrian, and thanks for watching. Ciao.